Hi, this is Trust and Neil, and we're with Call to Learn, and we're here with Lori Tidwell, and she's going to be sharing with us some things about stress, how to help us to get through it. So we're excited to hear about that. So Lori, could you tell us some things about yourself? Like, where did you come from? Where were you born?
In Utah.
Yeah? Okay. Did you grow up here too?
For the most part, yes.
Mm-hmm.
We were, when I was very, very young, I was 2 years old, we were in Idaho for a little bit, but that was it. So
Okay.
mostly here in Utah, Centerville.
Right.
Grew up in Centerville.
Awesome.
So
That's where my relatives started. Did you know that?
no.
Maybe we should compare notes.
It's a great place. Centerville's a great place. So
Yeah.
good people.
I agree. So tell us about your schooling and how you met your husband and about all that kinds of fun stuff.
My schooling, I actually got married 9 months out of high school, so
Okay.
I was not, didn't do a lot with schooling then. But now that I'm more in the midlife of my life, last about 5 years, I've spent a lot of time educating myself and doing a lot of things and really expanding out. My youngest, I am the mother of 4 boys.
Okay.
My youngest is 18 now.
Wow.
So
Wow.
it's kind of my time to discover me and what I'm meant to do in this world. And so I'm kind of out of that mode.
So are you
now.
almost to that empty nester stage?
Almost.
Yeah.
I have a couple at home still. One son that has just recently gone through a fairly severe illness. So he's moved back in with us for a time, and then he's getting married in March if we can keep him healthy. So that's just basically it. I graduated from the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. Got several certifications in different energy healing modalities. A lot of different things. I'm an author of a book.
And what's the name of your book?
It is The Gift of Disease. I have a copy here. I should just go. This is it.
Yay.
Little, thin, see? Packed with lots of information, though. So, no, The Gift of Disease, it's End Your Struggle with Chronic Illness, because I was diagnosed with a chronic illness, multiple sclerosis, in 2002. And it's not really my journey, it's how I got out of my illness, how I overcame the illness. And I'm living a symptom-free and drug-free and super happy, healthy life right now. So
that's incredible.
Having so much fun. So
yeah,
it's
great.
like, okay.
Yeah.
It's not something I set out to do in my life, but my life doesn't look anything like I thought it would in my midlife years. So it's exciting and it's fun and it can be stressful, but I've learned ways to cope with stress. So
good. Yeah, and that's what we're going to be talking about. Yeah, that's really great. But I want to ask you a question about your homeschooling experiences. You said some were in, some were out, and sometimes you were doing it. So could you give us an overview of that?
Well, being the mother of 4 boys, I found it very challenging to be work with the school system, and I tried everything I knew how to do, and then some. We struggled. My boys struggled with school, struggled to fit in socially sometimes, but not all of them, only a couple of them, and just struggled even though they were so incredibly intelligent. I mean, their testing was off the charts high, super high testing-wise, but then they could not function within the system as it was. And I learned over time, and then I just started seeking more answers. It's like when you're up against a wall, it's just like you start asking better questions.
Yeah.
And really that's what led me into the what else can there be? What else is possible here? So what became possible was I went the route of found Glenn Kimber.
Oh, Kimber
and did the Kimber Academy stuff, and actually ended up doing a quasi school where I took in other students, other children of parents that were working and didn't want to do homeschooling but didn't fit this. Their kids didn't fit in the system either, and so they were looking for an alternative. So I just rented a little spot in a theater that was close by us, and they brought their kids, and we. My older 2 children who were extremely intelligent. My oldest child is very smart and he has a mind that can memorize anything, which is one of those things I'm like, I didn't get that. Right.
Yeah,
I'm not sure where he got that one from. I think it skipped a generation. My dad has that ability too, but So he did some of the teaching with the younger students, and so did I, and really found that to be a really helpful and beneficial thing for about a year and a half. And then it wasn't financially viable to do and to continue. And my third child was like, Mom, I kind of want to go back into the public school system. He was more of a social child. So it really became a matter of asking questions around each child individually. It's like, what is going to work best for each child individually, and not just lumping them all into one thing. So we put him back into the public school system, which worked great for him, except for we were doing packets up until the week before graduation.
To graduate,
I almost killed him, but opted not to. But he did. He got a couple packets just out of the way right at the last second, literally. And, wow. But he graduated and did fine with that. He's now at Utah Valley University. Okay. So after serving him an LDS mission, so he is. So we did something different, and then with my last child, we ended up putting him back in the public school system, but with Career Path High was the name of it's a charter school, but there's very limited children there. It's still in a growing phase. This is only the third year. This year is, so he was in the second year of its existence, and he also got college credits along with high school graduation, and it worked out really well. Great. And he was going towards an IT certificate, but has now swung into a different direction. So, and that's one thing I think is really important to do with your children, is to really encourage them to explore their options. Especially, I said, I don't care if you change majors 63 times. Yeah. Just do it before you're more committed to a family situation or things like that where you have other responsibilities. It's just important to know each of your children individually and to work with what works for them. Talk to them, have conversations with them, ask them how they feel about it. Good. And be open to doing whatever. So we did 4 different things with 4 different children. Yeah. So just it worked out that way. Yeah. So
and they all turned out okay, right?
Well, they'll tell you no, but they'll be like, Mom, we were all over the place. I said, I know, but I was just trying to do the best we knew how to do, just trying to figure out what worked best for you, so you weren't so stressed out. Right.
So you've dealt with a lot of stress then in your life. Well. Yeah. Dealing with your children and dealing with things.
Like don't we all, though? Yeah. Let's just call that for what it is.
That's true. But I was just thinking that because of those stresses that you can now teach about it and how to cope with it better, I think.
Well, because I didn't do so well with it for a long time. Oh, okay. It was like I tried to be one of those women that wears the S on their chest and tries to be the super everything to everybody, and part of my journey with my kids with school was I became the PTA president of the junior high school because I thought that would help to get to know the teachers better and so that we could work things through better. And I was also on the elementary school board at the same time, and I was on the regional board at the same time, and the state board on the legislative branch at the same time. So it was like I started to spread myself a little too thin in the name of helping out. So I think that sometimes we as women especially get caught up in that role of, oh my goodness, you've got to do it all. You've got to figure it all out yourself. There's, we don't seek the support that we need and things like that. So, and we delude ourselves into thinking that we can do it all and that we're supposed to be able to do it all. It's like, oh my word, there's a hamster wheel I don't ever want to get back on again. And it culminated in an illness, so in a chronic illness. And so, there you have it.
Pretty bad. A lot of stress can lead to that disease.
Well, it just stopped me in my tracks and got me to look at my life and say, wow, this is a rat race I need to get out of. And I need to do something different. So.
Well, I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did to be an example for all of us.
To subscribe to our YouTube channel, click here. To choose from our gifts and request updates on our most popular topics, visit calledtolearn.com. For more videos like this one, click this playlist. For Table Talk discussions, choose this playlist.